Hello. All good.
Go back and look at the film from that loss. Dan, was obviously the takeaways were a huge part of that, but what are some of the other elements do you think that maybe didn't lend to the urgency and you guys being able to function as well as you did in the first game?
I think it goes to the attention to detail, and that really big head on me too when it comes to that. I didn't do a good job, and I feel like it starts with an example. So gotta be better there. Clean it up, just like you said. Very dirty across the board, and just gotta be better. There's a lot of technical things I didn't get done, and also blocks that I should have made, and yeah.
Is it just, I don't know, obviously none of us have played it at a high level, so can you just explain how difficult it is moving from right to left and weeks notice like that?
For my mind, it doesn't change. It's not an excuse. Coach depends on me. This team depends on me. So there's no difference. But when it comes to what I need to work on, just those attention to details. I'm like a yard away from making that important block. I just got to get off the ball faster, or stay on the block with Jonah more, or just communication like that.
What was it like being back at left tackle?
It was all good. There's a lot of things I need to work on, though. A lot, including my hands, my feet, pre-snap reads, and so on and so forth.
Did you get any work there during the offseason before last week?
A little bit, yeah. So it wasn't that bad.
You know, you're so close to Vaitai. You know the work that he put in to get back this year. Just how tough is that as a teammate, as a friend, to see him going through something else right now?
As a teammate, I hate it for him, just because he just got back from that really bad back injury. So just to see him go down like that, it just hurts. I know how much he wanted it, especially for this year. Y'all know, y'all talk to him, so I hate it. But just like you said, we got to keep going and wait for him to get back.
What was the big message from Ben that he wants to see you guys maybe do a little bit better offensively heading into Atlanta on Sunday?
In the summer, I think we all got to be on the same page. Right now, it's just one guy, just not attentive. So, and I think we just got to gel as a team more, get that all down. Once we get that all down, I think we'll be comfortable.
One of the things that Dan kind of intimated is that losing can really center your focus. Do you see it as, when you say we've got to gel a little better as a team, that maybe this loss can really kind of snap you back into that?
Oh, yeah, it definitely humbles you. And I hope the guys come in with that same mindset of what we were a year ago. It's just different now. There's too many people riding the wave. There's too many people talking. And for myself, that never bothers me. I don't like to, no offense to y'all, but I really don't give a damn what y'all say. So I think the team's got to humble back, go back to the drawing board, and it's just us against everybody, so we just got to keep that same mindset.
Do you think some of the build-up and expectation going into yesterday with the home opener was a bit of a distraction? It sounds like. Is that?
I think we fed off the energy without a doubt. Y'all were loud, none but love. I appreciate everyone that came out and just poured their hearts into it. But I think at times, I don't know, I can't speak for individual minds, but it could be a distraction. I could see it. But how loud y'all were, we need that every time. So.
You mentioned this year feels different. One loss only, but how does it feel different, I guess?
Just the type of group of guys we got. Now that we got that loss and everybody kind of had that taste in their mouth, kind of sets us up to see what kind of team we are. And we're about to find out.
What kind of team do you think you guys are?
It's a gritty team. Just simple as that. Just if I think of one word, it's grit. We just got to show it. Enough of the talk. I'm as simple as that.
Work with Graham throughout camp, just the rotation they were doing at that spot. Obviously going to come in handy now. Just what kind of chemistry were you able to build with him through camp?
Really good. All that time in camp really helped. Just so that when, bullets start flying, a man goes down, nobody skips a beat. And that's the expectation around the whole team, not just the room. So it's really good, and it just helps us in game situations.
For the lack of a better term, we've talked about this offensive line, this starting five for a long time, and just can't seem to get everybody on the field at once. I mean, does it start to feel like a curse? I mean, just with, you know, guys going out the way they have?
Nah, no curse. It's everybody knows it's a physical game. It's part of it. It's just something you can't control. So we just got to come out, whoever out there, just be on the same mindset. That's all that matters.
I don't know if you feel like this applies to you or not, but Dan was just talking about, he said, my most reliable players have to be my most reliable, you know. So, I don't know, do you think that sort of applies from yesterday, that you just have to be a little more reliable?
No, without a doubt. And that's me right there. I got to be way better than I was. I gotta do better. It's just simple as that. And it was tough to not perform to the level I know I can. So now I know it's a challenge, and I love it. So I can't wait for Sunday to get here.
When you think down the road about your career, do you still have visions of being a left tackle at some point? Do you 10 years from now, like what position do you think you'll play?
To be honest, no. No matter what position, I think I want to be the best player, no matter what. So.
Doesn't matter where you're left to you.
It don't. So it is what it is. My mindset is I'm better than anybody on that field.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Penei.
What are you thinking, Cam, watching the tape today, going over for Sunday's game?
Yeah,
From a defensive standpoint.
just being detailed. Finding ways, obviously, in those critical moments to get off the field, let alone making plays on the ball. Just keep finding ways, standing strong as a team, standing strong as a unit. Week in, week out, obviously, teams are going to do different things to challenge us in different ways, challenge us schematically. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to, obviously, whooping the man in front of you and, again, just being able to find ways to get off the field. So, just putting it on that, not over forcing anything, just excelling in our roles, excelling in understanding our jobs and what we need to do, and then just attacking from there.
Following up on that, excelling in our roles and our jobs and what we're supposed to do, is there a little bit of an acclimation period with the group, particularly on defense, when you guys haven't all played together?
I'm just trying to understand your question.
Is there a little bit of, does it take a little more time for the trust to build on defense?
Well, that's an ongoing thing, obviously the trust and the building that factors. It's only necessarily the second week of the season, but it's a long journey ahead of us, Obviously we've gained, steps and had parts of that coming out of the summer phase, OTA, training camp, obviously preseason, all those things. Week in, week out, team it's going to be new, different identities. Whether what stadium we step in, whether it's home or away. That's just the nature of the game. That's just how the game moves. So just with that being said, obviously having a great game plan, having a great week of practice and preparation, that leads into confidence in yourself and in each other, and then just letting it loose on Sunday. Just really embracing the moment. Really embracing the opportunity. That's where you'll continue to build that togetherness and what we'll need and what will gain us and propel us through the rest of the season.
Seemed like there was a big point of emphasis keeping everything in front of you yesterday, not wanting to give the big play up to their receivers. How difficult is it to play that style of defense when the tackling was maybe as inconsistent as it was?
Yeah, so those are things that we can control. Tackling in space, getting 11 hats to the ball, corralling the ball, making them play behind the sticks, and obviously advantageous, situations for ourselves. So obviously we fell on the short end of that as a whole. Obviously that starts with me. It starts with all the guys. It's a lot of plays that you might look back on and say, hey, we could have did this and that third. But that's the growth in this. That's the growth in accountability in your game and accountability to each other. So just understanding the roles. And then again, some things are just built within the scheme. We'll play the dink and duck game, and obviously we want to control the necessarily the play call within, down the distance, making teams one-dimensional, things like that. And again, just finding ways to get out to the ball and find ways to get out the field. So just keep putting it together. Again, we're not pressing anything, but we know where we're at right now and how we need to continue to keep building.
Kirby mentioned yesterday there was some communication breakdowns, maybe having trouble getting the calls in. from your perspective, just what has been the biggest issue to getting on the same page?
I wouldn't look too deep in that as far as, communication. Again, there's going to be different things that we're going to be able to see and not be able to communicate. Obviously, that could be a testament to the crowd noise. Our fans did a great job of showing up and being loud. The same factor it is for, offenses out there trying to relay plays and get things across the board. Obviously, you can imagine how that is for us to be able to get a play call and translate that same communication. That doesn't give an excuse for anything, and it never will be. But again, just all of us being on the same page and limiting those factors. Again, certain looks, certain schematics are obviously built within to beat certain calls, but regardless of the call, we still got to give ourselves a place to stand. So just whether it's one-word communication, finding other different hand signals, different things, just whatever needs to be done to keep everything moving.
And then Dan said something about, it seemed like maybe you guys were a little too passive in terms of creating turnovers, so you guys need to create them more. I'm just wondering, how you go about that mindset, A, and then B, how important is that going to be just for the success?
Yeah, just attacking the ball. Not to say as simple as that, but just getting after the ball, man. You practice what you preach. Obviously, that's something that's a big emphasis for us. I mean, that's a national big emphasis anyways, is getting after the ball. That's our style of play and what we do best anyways. We have more than enough capable guys, obviously 11 hats out there on the field each and every play, to make a play on the ball. So whether it's a strip attempt, punching the ball out, finishing on the tackle, obviously finding the ball in the air, making plays, and not letting those innocent balls hitting the ground, tips and overthrows, all those different things that you talk about as a team and as a unit, just bringing those to fruition. We've been in good situations thus far, but we really just got to keep bringing the havoc, keep getting after teams, keep attacking teams, and not being on that, that back end of just waiting and reacting type of thing. So just referring to him and saying that, kind of just reacting off of things instead of obviously going on the hunt, and that's our style of play. That's our DNA.
And just going on the hunt, like the good teams that you've been on that have created turnovers, is there one thing they do? Really
not necessarily nothing different than what we do here. Again, it's emphasized in practice. Obviously we meet on it, we talk about it. We know the necessarily the repeat offenders or kind of game weak guys who are loose with the ball. It doesn't necessarily be a specific guy, but just any ball carrier. You know what I mean? Again, that's just a mentality thing. You create the wave of that. And sometimes that obviously takes one, to have that trickle effect for another. But again, not waiting on somebody to make that play. Obviously you going out there and you putting that burden on your shoulders to be the one to, within what we do, make a play.
Can you talk any of the defense performance of yesterday? I mean, 2 of the touchdowns you allowed were on short fields. Like after the fumble and the failed 4th down conversion. Is that easy to overlook and say, break that off?
No, because obviously anytime you step out on the field, it wouldn't matter. We were on the one on the plus 1 yard line or the minus 1 yard line. Anytime you got a place to stand, obviously you got to do everything you can to, 1, limit points, limit explosive plays, but then 2, get the ball back for offense. So obviously we fell a little short than that yesterday in a lot of situations. Then just a pride of a tale of a defense of a team. You never want to give up, a lot of points or even within the situation of the game and all the flow of the game. Just being able to control certain factors in that phase to, I've been on a kind of the up and down tail of, where one side of the ball is clicking in the other or kind of have that back and forth. But, just being able to play complementary football in all 3 phases, offense, defense, special teams, that's going to keep us in the mix already in the fold of games. And, again, just being able to find ways to get out the field in those critical moments and those critical downs, limiting possessions. I think we were pretty good on 3rd down. That says overall, but even in those converted 3rd downs, again, they were critical plays, and obviously they were still kind of on schedule, a little bit for the most within the run game and the play pass game, which that's their comfort. That's what they're really good at, and they were able to find some little holes within that too. So, again, just learning the game. Again, that's something that not to say you won't see week in, week out, but until you get it corrected, their teams are going to challenge you in the same way. So like I said, our job is to prepare this week. We got another great team coming in here this week, kind of in that same style, that good run, good play pass type of scheme. And they can do some different things, got some different versatility within the skill position. So we'll be ready to go.
Last year, this team played more man coverage than maybe anybody in the league. new personnel, you're part of that, a little bit more of a zone-heavy team, at least early in the season. As you're kind of finding your way to the chemistry together, is it more difficult with zone, maybe especially with guys that haven't played it as much in their careers?
I wouldn't say yeah, and I wouldn't say no. Obviously, because the more you see it, the more you're able to, put yourself in situations, or obviously just having that experience of seeing certain things, like you said, within a man or a zone type presence of a scheme. I don't think that deters away from, the plays that can be made, or again, just the continuous growth within the more you see it, the repetition within practice, and the duration of a year. But I do obviously maybe with some guys, that's just the balance of, being able to manipulate, again, man zone, making things look the same, giving offenses different looks, not just making it easy for them just to identify, your coverage on your back end. And then obviously from there, just being detailed in our work, putting our eyes where we need to be, more times out of the most, it's more of on our end than a schematic, or obviously the NFL, or guys are going to make plays, guys are going to make catches, things of that nature. You roll with those punches, but we have to do a great job of just putting ourselves in a great situation before that even happening. So with this, the small, again, gets back to communication and through the zones, seeing the zones the same way. Being able to give certain calls, drop calls, and all these. It's so much context within, just not just one call, but different other forms of zones, and not just to say that I'm talking to a safety or another nickel. I could be talking to a backer, I could be talking to an end, I could be talking, there's so many different guys. So again, that's just the continuous communication factor that just have to keep rolling.
Yesterday, Campbell said that there was just a lot of stress put on the defense, and then even today he reiterated that, those 2 turnovers, basically 14 points right there. Did you guys feel like you were playing under stress, or do you think that has any factor in, like you said, trying to gel?
No, to me personally, you want that stance. I personally don't care if we turn the ball over 5 times on offense. I still got to go out there and perform and do my job the same as my partners and everybody else on defense. And again, it doesn't matter about where the ball is spotted at, or what happened the play before. We got to keep having that snap and clear mentality. Playing one each play. I always tell the guys, one play is a life of its own. So you live that life. And we're able to again build off of the plays, and again just keep coming together. But I don't condone myself in just worrying about, we could have this, we could have that, or we turned the ball over and this and that, because, that's not for me. That's not my business to be, those guys are excelling well, especially in the offense and in the special teams area, man. They're doing a great job of controlling the game, controlling the ball, moving, the pile up front. We got great skill on the perimeter, man, and you see how the fold of those guys are. They're able to move up and down the field, let alone be able to play the game that they want to play as well. So to them, let them just keep playing their game. For us, put it on us. Like I said, let them do their thing. At the end of the day, we got to keep getting off the field and keep giving them more exposure and more attempts to have the ball. The success that they're having, the success rate that they're having with the ball, it's more times good out of bad. So the more we can put in their hands, the more we can, that fuels us too. Just want to be a part of, the turnover wave. Want to be a part of the guys that, are able to get the ball back, for our offense, and obviously we want to win at the end of the day. So that's all that matters.
Don't imagine you got too far into the film study on Atlanta yet, but they're one of 2 teams that have first-round running back, receiver, and tight end. Just what sort of challenges does it?
Yeah, kind of obviously a little carryover, a little bit from last year. Played them last year, and then obviously going this year. Again, every team is a new team in its own. Obviously they added some pieces, and from a skill, and I think they're a pretty complete team. Especially obviously going into this year. Offense is playing really well. Again, just kind of controlling the games. Making the plays that they need to make. And then obviously the defense is playing strong as well. So it's going to be a good test for us. like I said, we're just excited for opportunity. You know, you coming off of a necessarily a down week. You know, guys are going to be a little edgy, or a little more obviously edgy in a sense, anyways. But you know, who doesn't? No, who doesn't like to lose? So.
Branch was pretty dejected in the locker room yesterday after giving up the touchdown late. Can't be too high, can't be too low in this league. What do you got to say to a young guy like that to
Yeah, man.
lift his head up?
Shooters get shot, man. You know, it happens. Not to say that, you know, obviously who's not going to be down in a situation where you don't make a play or something doesn't go the way that you wanted to. Obviously, you know, we're a band of brothers, man. We stand behind each other. He's at no fault in any other play, you know, or any other guy. You know, there's other plays that I could have made out there too. You know, so just to say that one play is, you know, the defining moment in the game, or just because you just happen to be in that moment, that details who you are, your character, and your style of play, and all these other things. Branch is going to be, you know, more than capable for us. He's going to be more than fine. He's going to keep playing this game, keep growing, keep learning. You know, that was just a young, early learning curve for him. You know, in a good situation. You know, and I rather it now, especially in the early parts of the year, and you're able to iron out those little wrinkles. And then, you know, let that carry him over to the latter of the year, where he's continued to keep getting those game reps and continue to get those, you know, game experiences, and you know, be able to obviously continue to have success that he's already building off of. So he's great though. He's all great.